Okay, so guys, so today we're going to be talking about ThreadsBot's 3D automation. So this is automation that's going to create a 3D style character. So the way it works is it's called ThreadsBots 3D, inspired by Indie, powered by Freedom Fusion System. And the way it works is there's going to be a video at the end that's going to get generated with this 3D style.
Have you ever wondered about example domains? Have you ever wondered about example domains?
So this is an example of one.
Did you know Pablo Escobar was one of the wealthiest criminals in history?
So what this is gonna do, guys, is gonna combine multiple videos together of this Pablo Escobar character over here. So the way it works is you add fully qualified domain name, the URL directly into the spreadsheet. And what it's gonna do is gonna create a fully blown video and upload it directly in a results section. So right now, this is what it looks like. It didn't load, no worries. We will get this working as soon as this fixed. I had to get some of the Creatomate templates worked out, and so we're gonna get this start. We're gonna get this rolling, guys. So this way you have everything you need, and this blueprint is available for you directly on my buy link over here. It's gonna be right here, right now. This ThreadsBots cartoon, but there's gonna be ThreadsBots 3D available right here as soon as we're done with this. So, and of course, guys, the way it works is right now I'm just kind of checking the parameters. The parameters are as follows. So there's a Google Sheet. So inside of the Google Sheet, you have all of those parameters like this, anything that's pending. And also when you trigger the node, it will look in the Google Sheet, see what's pending, and then it's gonna do the following. So you could take a screenshot of this to see what it looks like, what the prompt is, but essentially it's going to generate, it's going to be using HTTP request tool, and based on provided topic and reference material, generate a structural output in the following JSON format. Must be the total of 120 to 180 words across 11 short lines. One line equals 10 to 20 words. Start with attention grabbing hook in line 1. Continue with informative storytelling about the topic in the following lines. Maintain concise, natural placing suitable for 1 minute video voiceover. Image block storytelling visuals. Provide 12 visual descriptions, one of each scene. 12 total, each visual description. Align with the corresponding script line by index. Script 0 matches image 0. Describe characters, actions, background, and mood. Be visually creative. So all this stuff, guys, you could take a screenshot, and this is the prompt that you want to take a screenshot as well. You're a professional scriptwriter and visual storyteller. And essentially what it's going to do is going to create the script based on whatever the context is. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to hit that run button. And of course, what's going to happen next, guys, it's going to go through those nodes, and it's going to effectively use the structured output. You could take a screenshot of that output as well. So over here, and this is it. So boom, I just took this is the output that it's going to get. The HTTP request tool is going to look like this. Just make sure you're running up on the latest N8N node. If you're not sure how to upgrade it, we request help from our Feudal Hustler. You could, by the way, if you have any questions, you could jump into one of our workshops, go to Freedom Fusion Flip workshop, and you could meet with Bruno. He's the one that's doing all those workshops for you guys at 1 p.m. Eastern time. You could reserve this spot over here if you guys are interested. If you want any other kind of AI content-driven automations, go to freedomfusion.com and fill out a intro call from the bottom line over here. Pick room well, select the time when you want to meet, preferably somewhere in the evening, and then just hit schedule meeting if you need any custom-based automation or any kind of consultation. So going back to what I was saying, guys, essentially this HTTP request node is going to be used over here to get the URL. So it's going to get that Pablo Escobar URL, but it could be any kind of URL as long as it's publicly accessible. And what it's going to do, it's going to it's going to use the model. So over here it says defined by model. It's just going to use that and grab that and pull that information. And now over here, I'm using Open for GPT-4 or Mini, but you could use any other one. So obviously, guys, you're gonna have to set up the credentials, and also what you're gonna need, you're gonna need verification for GPT-1 model in this node. And of course, I'll show you quickly about that node first. And initially, what you want to do, you want to include this split node. After you get a bunch of outputs from a AI agent, what's going to be happening is you're going to have script, you're going to have image, you're going to have script image, and all of that information is going to be funneled into this limit. You want to set limit to 2, but then later on you could remove the limit when you are ready to operationalize it and make it like a where you create bunch of stories in one shot, where you create one video with lots of scenes. For now, just limit it to 2 to maintain the costs. And of course, guys, to reduce the costs, you could always shut down the node, deactivate the node, and you could also pin them, unpin them, do that kind of stuff when controlling your automations. So, but over here, guys, essentially, after you end up splitting this thing into multiple outputs, just make sure you put output. You're gonna have something like this. Curious, have you ever wondered about example domains? Here's an image. So what it's gonna do by doing this split out output is gonna split everything, and then effectively the output of 2 is gonna literally just gonna include only 2 items for script and an image. From that script over here, this is where we're gonna use Minimax voice model, speech to text to voice model. You can modify different voices, that kind of stuff. And of course, the image model is just we're gonna use GPT-1 model. So for GPT-1 model, we're gonna have this thing over here. So this is actually what it looks for. So over here, as you can see, based on the context below, full body, low poly 3D rendered digital image of subject, etc., etc. And then, so basically, we'll just generate the image in a 3D rendered way, like a video game style. And this is what it's going to look like. Something like this. Something like this. So obviously, guys, once it's going to happen, after that video is generated, it's going to create like a combined video altogether of everything, and it's gonna share the information to store information to Superbase. For Superbase, you want to quickly set it up. So after it's gonna get generated, it's gonna look like this on the left hand side. So for Superbase, you quickly want to set up your Superbase credentials. You just go in and create your project, and make sure you use your own URL, guys. Replace this URL with yours. And for NA10, it's going to be your actual NA10 is going to be your bucket name. So if I was to go to Superbase, superbase.com, and so once you get to Superbase, you're gonna have to create your own new project. In my particular case, I already created a project. So over here, as you can see, I clicked on ThreadsBots Cartoon, and I'm actually reusing the same project for ThreadsBots 3D as well. But the idea here is you want to go to storage, and you want to create your own new bucket. As soon as you create new bucket, it's going to look like this. And that's the name that you're going to be using in the URL. As you can see, you could already see a bunch of things over here, bunch of information from previous automations from Peter and Stewie, ThreadsBots Cartoon, which, by the way, you could get it over here, ThreadsBots Cartoon. But I created another folder called images, and this is where I'm including those images for 3D style character. So obviously, guys, in this particular case, 3D style characters are created. And what happens next is you want to be using this API key inside of the automation itself from the Superbase. So for API keys, you're just gonna go to project settings, and then you're gonna go get the API keys. Then you just copy the key, will be over here in the middle. And then you just basically copy that key. You create a Supabase account over here. So you just go credentials, Supabase, and Supabase account, create new credentials. You put the name and put the service role secret, just like in the Supabase, just like it tell you. I already included this in here, so it's not a so it's already filled out for me. But also you want to put that your own bucket over here, and then put the folder images. In this case, be sure to create the folder and just copy the same way. And use this data and that kind of stuff to, and send buddy to make sure that you're sending actual data itself. This is what the data you're sending in data, and as soon as you send that data, it's going to come back with that key. And this is the key. You're going to have your own key, and you want to put like a little bit of wait time, 20 seconds or so, for it to download and everything. And after that, what you want to do, you want to start generating audio. So generating audio is going to be done with literally going to put the URL. You're going to use file AI. So just go ahead and register on file AI, fill out the documentation. So on file, if you go to file AI, this is file.ai. You log in, you could use your Google account, put like $5 of credits. And in this case, I just put usage. I quickly total cost estimate $3.36. So billing, so you could put like $10 in here, current balance, etc. And of course, guys, as we learn more, I could show you how to optimize this. So this way you can use different models, but this is just the plain model for now. I mean, this is just the API based model, but later on you could minimize cost as well with different open source based models. So FAL is using Kling AI on a background, and that's what I'm using to supercharge this automation. And of course, guys, if you have any other kind of questions, you could ask them in the community. You could DM the word path on my Insta. All you gotta do is just go here, Instagram, and jump and just message me and DM message me and say the word path. So this way we know that you're interested in our ThreadStack digital power bundle. This is the digital power bundle that includes everything you need to learn how to grow across socials. It includes different types of guides. And of course, this is your entry ticket way into automations as well. It has Threads bots guide there as well. So this way you can learn how to craft all of those bots. It's perfect for moms over 40 or any other kind of people who wants to learn how to craft your own bots, how to create your own theme, how to grow on threads, that kind of stuff. Feel free to check it out. And of course, if you wanted to join our workshops, DM the word workshop on our Insta. So this way you get access to our Freedom Fusion Flip workshops, as I mentioned earlier, those ones over here. Now, going back to what I was saying a bit later. So if you jump in over here and kind of take a look at this thing, so we got file, and we want to put this type of data in here. So over here, I'm just using wise woman, but you could modify the voice to whatever, and you could adjust the volume. And the cool part about it, it shows over here the actual text. So the text is being fetched from limit 5 after the limit 5, but if once you remove the limit, just use the other node, which is going to be this node over here, split out 3. So for now, just use this limit like this, just so this way you don't spend too much money, guys. So this way you kind of test things out, and then later on you could remove it. So going back to what I was saying, you want to generate a video. The video over here is going to be like this, where you have animate this image with movement. So you're going to be literally animating the image with movement and passing this URL. Once again, it's very important that you include your bucket and your folder and the actual JSON key. So JSON key is this thing that's going to get returned after it was uploaded to Supabase. And of course, guys, just make sure you have this JSON properly edit with send body. Make sure you have header off configured, and for header off, you want to put name, authorization, and then just follow the instruction over here to make sure that you include the correct value for the key. If you get the key wrong, it's going to come back with an error, guys. So that's kind of what this is. And then for generate audio, this is what's going on. For generate audio, it's going to be getting this information. We're going to be using Minimax Speech Turbo model, and of course you use the same credentials, and effectively this is what you use, like this, and boom, like this, you use the same thing. And right now what's going to happen is at the end of the day, it's going to generate everything. And just to make sure you can take the screenshot of all this. And what you want to do, you want to set a wait note to give it some time to wait, like 7 minutes, especially if you have longer videos. Then fetch the results. You're going to fetch those results. It's going to look like this. It's going to come back with an output URL video. So if you were to actually go to this URL, it's going to look like this. So, which is pretty cool. And then it shows file size, it shows a bunch of other stuff, and audio size as well. So this one is MP3, is going to come back with that. So you want to include all this. And of course, guys, this is what it looks like.
Have you ever wondered about example?
So that's cool. So now that we have everything, what's happening next is going to merge everything. So mode, combine, append. So it's going to merge. So it's going to append. Available. You can put this append to number of images. So basically, after you start appending two of them, it's going to come out with those video URLs like this and MP3. And then what you want to do to save yourself costs, you want to aggregate all of them. That's going to take your video, and notice the index 0, 1, and notice how it's video, audio. So audio really starts off with 2. Why? Because I set the limit to only 2. So right now, guys, what's happening, you have video file for one of them, and I'll let you hear Zion. So right now you have video 01, 02, and then audio, you have this and that. So what's going to happen next, guys, you need to combine all of those audios and videos together. And the best way to do that is with Creator-Mate. Now this thing costs $40, but I could show you how to reverse $40 per month, this Creator-Mate. And this is what it is. If you go to Creator-Mate, if you go here, in literally you could have a free account, and when you have free account, you'll be able to generate some APIs. And what you got to do, you got to create a template. So you're going to create a new template. You're going to start from scratch. You're going to pick the 69, create template. After you create the template, it's going to be you're going to have a template like this. So this is only for 2. Later, after you test it for 2 and make sure that everything works, you could expand it into 10 of them, and it's going to be the same kind of style. So what I mean by that, first of all, this is the you could literally drag and drop the whole thing and like upload each index automatically, or just paste it, or you could do copy and paste, and it will generate this ID automatic this ID automatically. So That's a random ID. That's how you interact with it through API. And of course, guys, if you want to use template, you pick this and then you just pick, so you pick API integration, then you just pick, you copy this into a notepad and it will show you the full key over here. That's the key, including the bearer thing you're going to include in your authorization inside of init. And over here, you're going to include that in here. So if you go here, customize credentials authentication. So you're going to pick generic credentials, header off, and you're going to pick create a mate, and you're going to put authorization, and you're going to put this thing bearer, then space, then the actual key in here. As soon as you do that, what's going to be happening is you're going to include this. So this is actually what you're measuring is the duration of the video and the speed of the video. And it's based on, obviously, to measure the speed and the distance. I'm sure you guys took math class before and know how to measure the speed and distance and discuss this in your mathematics class. But the idea here is the longer the videos, if you have, let's say, 2 videos and you need to measure the duration of each of the video, then you need to use the following indexes to do, for example, here's a video duration of 2, and this is video duration of 3. So you're taking the index, it's basically n minus 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. If you get confused by any of that, guys, don't worry. You could just copy the same way as it is. And then when you're ready, just copy it like this and just modify your template ID. Your template ID needs to be different depending on what the template ID is, what I just showed you with a bearer token, that kind of thing. So there's also template ID. The template ID you want to use, and notice the video source is all video 1, and then duration. As you can see, the duration starts, the index starts increasing, and it's saying duration divided by 1,000. So that will measure the video 1 duration. So, and then over here you have video 2, the same thing, then the video speed, etc. Copy this thing, guys, and paste it in, and you should be good to go. So this is what it's going to look like on the right-hand side. Essentially, it's going to process the speed. The video speed is going to be this. It's going to come back with the audio source. It's going to come back with another audio source. And basically, it's going to include the duration, the time, etc. And then it's going to render everything in one shot, in one place. Keep some in mind, guys, if you wanted to reverse engineer the Creator-Mate and make it easier to not spend that $40, you have 2 options. You could either recreate it using something like, let me kind of show it to you what you could do. You could do something like this to recreate it. So you could recreate Automate with open source and local rendering options, building a video template editor with Remotion and FFmpeg. So you could use Remotion library and FFmpeg library and build it all on Docker and then integrate it together and just run it as a separate container and connect this container for where this is running on, which is right now it's running on desktop, Docker desktop. And you basically will create another container and will connect it through the same network. If you guys want guidance on this, join the community and ask questions to my Feudal Hustler, who can walk you through the whole process. And of course, guys, the idea here is if you wanna recreate Creatomate, you need to create something like a canvas, the same way how you could kind of drag and drop things, Creatomate. So you obviously need to recreate that. Or if you don't want to recreate that, you could just make it a very basic JSON style type of format and make it very easy for you to just trying to find the ChatGPT window. Okay, so yeah, so essentially you need to create React interface and you need to create a drag and drop functionality and prototype the video editor. And then you want to connect it all to N8N. And of course, guys, that's not hard. You just need to use VS Code to vibe code it together with one another, and literally just use it, guys. Use Cloud Code with VS Code, and you're gonna be good to go. Here's a Visual Studio. Down, basically, get yourself Ubuntu version. You could start off of building things on Ubuntu, but I probably, like over here, I have Ubuntu instance, and if I was to open folder here, if I was to actually jump into this Terraform instance, you could literally create this on, you could create the whole thing on with the Terraform and build it all out in a as an EC2 instance in AWS, or you could do it in or you could just do it in Docker directly on your computer. Whatever the case is for you, whatever is the easiest. I recommend doing it in Docker. But if you're struggling to kind of get things going and not really sure like how to do this, you could just spin up Linux, just go to Microsoft Store, download Ubuntu, have it running like the way I'm running it over here, and literally just let me just kind of show it to you. So if I go to terminal, new terminal, and over here I'm running ls, as you can see, I'm running Terraform over here. So Terraform allows me to literally interact with AWS using infrastructure as a code. And of course, there's a bunch of projects over here that I created that kind of shows the whole concept of Terraform. But the idea is very simple. You spin up EC2 instance, you make it all available in an infrastructure as a code, and basically you deploy your script that literally turns on N8N, turns on pretty much all the stuff that you need to turn on, all the libraries. You bootstrap the whole thing and you're good to go. And you could interface directly with AWS doing it this way. Now, AWS costs a little bit of money for you guys if you go above free tier, because you won't be fully be able to run this in a free tier, but you will be able to run this in a kind of an environment where, let me just put it this way, you'll be able to run it in, if I was to log into AWS, if you upgrade it to like a bigger price factor, you could run it for maybe $30 tops with up to 4 gigs of memory. So which is not bad. You could probably run that, the whole thing, including your N8N instance and Docker on it. So if I was to go to instances over here, and this is my instances, this is what I have. Here's my N8N instance, and to connect it, I'll literally just go into Notion, and let me see if I could connect to my Linux box real quick. And of course, over here, I'm just going to automation processes. I'm just going to search Ubuntu, and this is our database, how to log into AWS instance in Ubuntu. So this is what it shows. And over here, I'm just using the key like this. I'm gonna open up PowerShell real quick and just connect to Ubuntu right here. So there we go. I'm connected to Ubuntu LSPWD. I'm inside of that EC2 instance. This is relatively easy to set up. It takes like 20-30 minutes. to set the whole thing up. And then what you want to do, you want to run certbot. So this way you renew the certificate. You want to run NGIX plus certbot plus n8n plus Docker. That's what you want to run, plus FFmpeg library, plus FFmpeg library, plus this reanimate, but to build this plus React. And you want to do this in each individual container. You want to have React interface running in one Docker and reanimate in another one, and then FFmpeg possibly in another one, all three of them running, and creating this stuff up. So I mean, it's doable, totally doable, guys. But the other alternative is for you to either A, pay $40 or Creatimate, or you could do a light style version of formatting with FFmpeg without any kind of canvas, where you just literally kind of organize things without any kind of canvas in a JSON format, skip that whole part and have FFmpeg do this. Still doable. The other part is probably what you could do is create a bunch of Gmail accounts for Creatimate and swap them out until when you hit the limit. That could be another thing you could do. Or you could find alternative options for Creatimate to get things rolling quickly. But over here, what we're gonna do, guys, I think we got everything. We prepared our Google Sheet. We got everything up and running. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit the start button to start animating this, to start creating this. I think we have everything going, or we're running on the latest version. I'm gonna go ahead and hit save and continue, and boom, it's gonna start going through the process of building everything out. Right now, the agent is spinning out, is building the HTTP request form, and it's preparing everything. And of course, guys, once it prepares, it will spill things out into split out node. And now it got the structured output. It went to split out node. Now it's going through OpenAI GPT model. And this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Did you know one man once had held sway away over an empire of cocaine worth billions? Meet Pablo Escobar, right? So it created this response, right? And it created an image description. And if you guys thinking that this is too expensive, what you could do, let's do this. Midjourney, does it support API? So we could swap that out for, it doesn't necessarily have to be. Midjourney runs via Discord commands. Imagine there's no documented or sanctioned workaround. Unofficial, some people have built unofficials wrap around Midjourney's Discord interaction. Log into Discord with a bot or user token. Okay, simulating magic command, but scraping the result, alternative with the APIs. So there's some other ones that you could do. But it's kind of, how should I say that? It could be, if you were to automate this with some other model, it would be cheaper than the ChatGPT one. So you kind of have to like take a look at what other models are available. I'm sure there's some available. So what is open source model that is cheaper than GPT-3 and GPT-1 to generate images in 3D style. So you could kind of do that. That will save you some money, and you could load that up. If you're looking for open source model to generate cheaper than GPT, stable diffusion. Okay, latest consistency, ultra fast, Hugging Face, what you need, etc., etc. So it looks like there's some things are available. Which one of them will work in good quality, but doesn't require lots of memory, and to run locally on my laptop. So, and of course, in my particular case, I have 32 gigs of space. It looks like Stable Diffusion VRAM 1.5 is much lighter. pixel style 3D cartoon by holding laptop cinematic lighting. Okay. Okay, so I guess this thing's Stable Diffusion 1.5 with LoRa for 3D style. We could easily swap that out. Avoid those for low memory laptops. So I have 32 gigs, so you can even run this on laptop without GPU, etc. So this is an example of Stable Diffusion. We could literally use that as a replacement for GPT if it's too expensive. I gotta say that using GPT-1 is a bit expensive, guys. It gotta be a lot cheaper than doing this. So we're probably gonna have to replace that a little bit further down the road. We'll see. Right now, it looks like it got all the way to this stage where it's waiting for 7 minutes, and it's gonna continue all the way through. While it's doing that, let's go ahead and fire up with VS Code. And in VS Code, let's see what would be the most appropriate way for us to code this. We could create like a container and do Docker compose and build out in Docker right away this whole thing with reanimate and all that other stuff. But I think to make it easier, what we're gonna do, guys, we're just gonna create. We're gonna just reverse engineer Creatomate right now. Let's see. I mean, it is taking a little bit of load. So let's see. I'm not gonna be doing this on my AWS, although it looks like it's a good place to do this. That's not what I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be doing this on my VS Code. In my Ubuntu device operating system that is installed directly on my computer. So I'm gonna find the Ubuntu over here. I'm gonna go here, log in. This is my Terraform script that I was doing, uploading, connecting to Terraform, etc. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly probably just escape from that, from the Terraform. And let's do something else, guys. So Ubuntu. Let's close that up. Don't save. And let's say Ubuntu, we're gonna open that up. And we're gonna see if we could reverse engineer the whole thing from scratch. And let's see how that's gonna play out. Okay, so obviously in VS Code, you have option for Copilot. That's cost $10 per month. But if you have a student or a teacher edition, you could get it for free. So, and it will literally do things for you directly inside of here. So I think to just get things going real quick, we could probably do this. Let's do mkdir and call it best bots create like this. So we're gonna engineer the whole thing, cd best bots create. We're gonna reverse engineer the whole thing, and we're gonna do this thing. This is, I think, where we're gonna open folder. So we're gonna open folder and best bots create. That's where we're gonna hyper focus on. This is where we're gonna build our yes, trusted. This is where we're gonna build everything and make things work. Okay, so this is our folder. So we're gonna start reverse engineering this thing. So the first thing first is let's open up GPT real quick. ChatGPT just to see what's going on. I could go directly and start doing this, but it's better if we have some sort of a feedback loop into here. So let's go ahead and find our Canvas thing and FFmpeg and all that other fun stuff. Pretty much, we're gonna create a high level plan. Okay, so we're gonna create this. This is gonna be the high level plan that we're gonna create, and let's jump in to here. So we're kind of doing this in Linux. We're not Dockerizing this thing yet. Not my EC2 instance Linux, but the other Linux. And we're not doing anything special, guys. We're just kind of sitting here and can you create a, ideally we wanna do this in Claude Code. Now what we're gonna do, Claude is where you wanna use Claude. I have actual Claude extension as well that will allow us to code through the whole thing a gazillion times faster. And Claude is is incredible, guys. If you haven't started using Claude, definitely go ahead and start using it. You could use it in combination with Cursor and Claude and all sorts of other ways to create a high-level plan and then distribute your workload to mini agents inside of the Cursor. Or you could use VS Code with Claude directly. But what I like to do is I like to use a Copilot to kind of get the feet wet and get things going with the Copilot. The Copilot is it has multiple modes. It has Ask mode and Agent mode. So for now, what I could do is I'm going to include this. So recreate open source and local render option, building template remotion and Linux, integrating React template with workflows, design drag and drag functionalities, right? So that's a lot of stuff. So I could go ahead and hit enter and see what happens. So it looks like you provide a set of topics, project ideas related to building. Set up so could you clarify which you would like to start with? If you want a plan that combines them, here I can set up a project structure of a video plan. Yes. Okay, integrate React. Okay, yes. Please specify your preferred starting point. Yeah, let's set up a project, right? Let's do this. Let's set up a project, and we're gonna. I put the project setup. Initialize a mono repo or single project with the React front end, Node.js backend. Install video. Okay. So thanks for clarity. Since you want to combine those ideas, here's a step-by-step plan to build open source local video. You know what? Set up a project structure. Let's just say, let's do this first. So this way it has all the templates and everything. Set up a project structure. Start off with this first. Start out with this first. So this way we should kind of see how this whole thing evolves, guys. So it's generating the all of the stuff. So it's talking about this scaffold, a wide-based React plus TypeScript project in the current directory of a video template. This will provide a fast modern front-end renderization for integration, remotion, and connecting to FFmpeg. After scaffolding on show project instructions. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Continue. So now it's just gonna go ahead. It uses npx to create this information, and keep some in mind when you start Dockerizing, it may be slightly different commands, but you're just looking for quick proof of concept. You don't really want to be in a containerized environments, like breaking your head trying to figure out all the complexities. You do that later after you figured out your minimum viable product. That's when you could jump in directly into Docker and do the rest. So right now we're just kind of doing this command to be used. Create, okay to proceed. I'm just going to put yes. So package name ThreadSpots create, and it's kind of doing this on the background, guys. While it's doing this, let's take a look at n8n and see what's going on with n8n to see what is happening. Did it finish? It looked like it finished. Did it actually upload it to Google Sheet? It looks like it uploaded to Google Sheet. Let's see. Did it actually render?
Did you know one man once held sway over an empire of cocaine worth billions? Meet Pablo Escobar, the legendary Colombian drug lord.
Okay, so that is not bad. Now we could probably remove the limit. So first we're gonna go to Creatomate. While this is thing happening, guys, we're gonna quickly see if it managed to come in through. So we already utilized 52%, and we're gonna see how that looks like. So
did you know one man once held sway over an empire of cocaine worth billions? Meet Pablo Escobar, the legendary Colombian drug lord.
okay.
Did you know one man?
So I think this is good. So now let's take a look at OpenAI. OpenAI, no, platform. We're gonna take a look at how many tokens we ate up. Platform, OpenAI, and just to see billing. Let's take a look at the billing. So $6 payment billing history. So $10. So usage, let's take a look. How much do we use? So we use that many X amount of tokens, and we are okay, $3.20. So today we really spent like $1 doing this thing. I did a couple of things earlier today to generate like another similar limit run. So we spent like $1. So technically, if we continue at the same pace, we're gonna for one good video, we'll end up spending maybe, I don't know, like $3, $4, especially if you combine FAL in there, FAL AI. And of course, guys, the idea is to reduce those costs, but also don't worry too much about those costs. Understand the process, because later you could simplify it further and understand how to deal with it. So right now it's total estimate $3.87. And of course, may seem like, you know, a lot, but at the end of the day, I think this is what it is. It's pretty cool. It's not that of a big deal. So we have still $6.13, and I think we got things going. So we're probably gonna be able to save some costs on Creatimate. So what do we have here? Package. So package name, I'm gonna hit enter, and it created all that other stuff for us. Install dependencies. Yes, we're gonna continue to install dependencies. And this is the magic behind actual GitHub Copilot. Keep something in mind, we could use Claude. I have Claude as well, guys. I have like $5 of Claude account filled up, so we could totally use that. So right now it's creating this, guys. And by the way, if you haven't seen the Piggy game that I created, you could also take a look at the Piggy game that I built and included a bunch of crazy things in there. If you are bored, definitely check it out. As soon as we can learn how to combine like Threads 3D rendered video directly inside of the video game, guys. It's kind of crazy, and you could use that for your marketing. So what does it say over here? It said Copilot will create the build with command npm run. So now it's gonna do the packages. Okay, we're gonna continue, and we're gonna build. So the project structure for your video template is now set up with React and TypeScript ready for Emotion FMPEG integration. So would you like to proceed with integrating Emotion, setting up FMPEG, or building out the timeline editor? So obviously, guys, it looks like we have a lot of. So first of all, what exactly are we doing? Remotion is a way for us to get that JSON index. What we're trying to do, we're trying to recreate this thing over here. So if I go here to init, we're trying to recreate this thing. We don't want to send to this node. We want to send it to ourselves and have the computer literally do this, render this whole thing, take all those thing videos and create the videos out of it together. And this is where we're trying to reverse engineer. And after we reverse engineer this, we want to Dockerize that and make it available for you guys to access it, available through GitHub. But before I do that, before I do anything further, let me squabble up and get a couple of Bougie Boss moms. Let me go ahead and do a little bit of engagement using another bot. I'm turning on another bot, guys, to go ahead and get some Bougie Boss moms to engage with them. This is part of my site hustling service delivery lifecycle. What I have is a bot that just kind of goes out, does a little bit of marketing for me, and I'm good to go. This is automatically, it's also happening through n8n with a Threads bots responder. Threads bots responder is an incredible bot that many of you guys could get access to in my bio link, and you could use it to increase engagement and get people to generate like comments and other kind of related content. And if you want to see an example of that, you just go to n8n and basically log into Threads bots responder. This is the one that's running, and really it's running really simple automation with a webhook like this. So if you look at the webhook, it's running this path and a bunch of other stuff. So authentication, get method, that kind of stuff. It's running, and it's only running when my computer is on. Typically, what I do is I turn it off when I turn it on when I need to turn it on, and I turn it off when I turn it off. And you could also control the automation and like remove it and not make it run all the time. For now, I'm running it now, but typically I would turn it off like this. So And what this allows you to do, it responds back to the webhook, and the webhook is connected to this extension. I built this extension real quick. If you see my previous videos, guys, if you want to learn how to get this bot, and also as part of the community, as part of getting access into Feudal Incubator, where you learn AI content-driven automations that are taught by my Feudal hustlers, you're going to be able to get access to many of those automations as well. You could still get them for free, but if you need encouragement and support, jump into ThreadStack Digital Power Bundle. It's only $14.99. This is where you get to ask me any kind of easy questions, but anything complex that requires you joining Feudal Incubator, which is a custom coaching program that is taught by our Feudal hustlers. And right now, at this point, guys, I think we are doing relatively good. We're moving forward. We did a little bit of threads stacking. Let's go ahead and do a little bit. Stay at home mom, and we're gonna do 5. We're gonna do 10, and let's do 4, and then stay at home mom like this. We're gonna run this while it's running on a background. We're gonna be looking at VS Code. So let it do some work for us while we're gonna be doing this a little bit further. So it's doing things, but we have to do next thing. And what is that, guys? The next thing that we got to do is we have to come up with a project structure. So, and by the way, guys, I know it seems crazy what I'm doing, but I'm doing marketing with coding, with vibe coding, simultaneous vibe coding in real time. And of course, when people respond, I have another kind of automation that I'll show you guys for how you could respond with your pre-created threads automatically. So this way you could make more sales. How crazy is that, guys? I think that's nuts. So if you guys want to learn more, definitely join the Feudal Incubator to do this. And of course, guys, DM the word workshop to join our workshop, so this way you could interact live. And of course, while it's all running, right now we got terminal will be used in task, press any key to close it. So we're going to close that, and let's take a look at all of the structures. So it created all of the structures sort of the same way how I showed you earlier with the Terraform. It created things. We're probably going to have to update our Git repository with all of this. But for now, we're just going to kind of, not really worry too much. What we're going to do, we're going to focus on recreating this structure and all this other stuff. So what does it say? The project structure for a video template editor is now set up. Now the completion project instructions are in place, and has been created. Everything is good to go. Would you like to proceed with integrating Remotion, setting up FMPEG? So yes, let's set up Remotion first. Okay, let's set up Remotion first. And it looks like we need to install Remotion player. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna get the player. So guys, keep something in mind. This is something what I did before. Before doing this, reverse engineering this, I actually went on ChatGPT and asked a couple of questions to see what would be the action plan, did a little bit of research to see what the action plan for how to do this. And this is what I came up with the Remotion. That was a good library that was recommended. And that's kind of how I came up with this plan. But you don't, like, if you don't research at all and you just tell it to research, and you could literally tell Claude to research it and it would do this for you. So look, Remotion is now installed, and basic Remotion video composition is rendered in your app using Remotion Player. You can view and interact with the video template directly in your React UI. Would you like to proceed with adding more advanced templates? No, not yet. Can I see an example of UI? Right. So certainly, here's a simple example. Okay. This layout is module and extend. You can add more controls in real time. Okay. How can I run it? How can I run it and see it in the actual user browser? To run your project to see video template edited in your browser, open a terminal in your project directory and run the following. After the service starts, it will display local URL. Okay. npm. Okay, so npm run dev. Okay, open in browser. Okay, I mean, so far so good. There's at least it opened up, but I don't see any interface. So it opened up, but I don't really see anything in the browser. So let's see. Now it's going back, guys. It's going back and forth. Your code should display a motion play demo header and a video player with a hello Remotion in the center. If you see a blank page or nothing, renders, here's some things to check. Browser console errors. Are there any errors? The code you have should work, but sometimes white's hot reload or cached build can cause issues, etc., etc. Would you like me to update your app to show both the Remotion play and a fallback message? So let's do local. So local. Let's run that again. Open in browser. Okay, so what we're gonna do over here, would you like me to update? Yes, update app.tsx. Okay, so let's just do that. It doesn't seem like it's a press. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it did anything yet, guys. So right now we just exited out and I included this thing. So your app is now updated. Okay, and we're gonna run this again and we're gonna check that again. There we go. That's not bad, guys. We are doing pretty good. So we're gonna have to, we're starting out with a canvas. That's pretty cool. Now we're just gonna include the actual element. And so yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Can you proceed with reanimate basic template controls? So we want to add like drag and drop elements where we could drag all sorts of content, and we want to be able to include all of this and be able to interact with it directly with the interface. So we want to be able to send the data into this site. How do we do this, guys? How do we send the data into this site? So let's try to figure this out. Basic template controls have been added. You can now change the video text and background color real time using the input color picker. Okay. So let's see. And now we're gonna go here. Hello, promotion. Today. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. But that is very good. That is very good. But okay, so we definitely know that we could control this thing, and we just need to make it. There's a minor issue. Prop is not supported by Remotion play component, which caused the type error. Would you like to remove the error handling or handle errors differently? Yes, a bit later, but for now, can you continue with the original plan? Original plan, and can you ensure that the JSON file, can you ensure that the JSON file from reanimate template is shown as a sample rendered in the player with video and images in it? I want to be dragging and dropping into timeline, like in Creative, like in Creative, like in Creative. So let's see if it's gonna be smart enough. So, and it says to move forward with your plan, here's what I'll do next. Add support for loading and Remotion a Remotion compatible JSON template with video and image layers. Render the template in Remotion player showing video and images as defined. Scaffold a basic timeline UI with drag and drop support for layers. A starting point for Creator-Mate-like experience. So the next thing, I'll create a simple JSON template file. I'll update it. And let's start by, so I'll update the Remotion. I'll add simple timeline UI with drag and drop. Okay, looks like it created. You now have a simple Remotion compatible. This sets the stage for the okay. Let's take a look what's going on here, guys. We are see what is going on here. Okay, so we got timeline, drag and drop. Okay, so how do we drag and drop? I mean, I definitely see a video here. This is a simple template with image and video layers. I mean, that does look like there's an image and there's a video, but I don't see a way for maybe like drag and drop. Let me just try it. Okay, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna, let's see, maybe open it. No. Okay, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. We're gonna close all this. Okay, I see the video and the image, but in Creator-Mate, I can add, and let's take a look on Creator-Mate, guys. So this way we could quickly understand what Creator-Mate has. Creator-Mate. Okay, so we're quickly going into Creator-Mate, guys, and checking what it has. Creator-Mate. We're gonna click here, and we're gonna include templates. Okay, so in Creator-Mate, there are the following controls. Source editor, okay, and tracks. So we have tracks, and we have source editor, and we have AI voiceover. So let's do this. AI voiceover image. Okay, I'm gonna Control Z. But when you do AI image, let's say you click on it, it will add AI image right here. Okay, cool. Okay, and then what about if I add text box? If I add text box, no, so far nothing. Let's do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, so right now, pan, 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 pan. Control Z, Control Z, get out. So notice that as soon as I add content, it will adjust things. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna just include this JSON style structure. Okay. And I'm gonna include, let's see, what can I include? Can I include actual picture like this of the whole thing? Can I include the whole picture like this and put it in VS Code? I don't know if it's gonna be able to do that, but let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm including a picture of UI from Creator-Mate, and we create it like this. Okay, so let's see. Thank you for sharing the screenshot of the Creator-Mate. Here's how I proceed to create a similar interface. Sidebar, list of layers, audio, preview, okay, prop plane, all that stuff. Next step, I'll start by updating your app to provide structure. Okay. Okay, I'll start by updating it. So it's updating it, guys. And it keeps going, updating it now. Applying. And all we gotta do, guys, is just replace. Afterwards, we're gonna need to replace expensive models with cheaper models, guys. And for image generation, and maybe even for image to video. But let's see, I'll start by updating. Your app now, now features a Creator-made inspired UI with a sidebar listing all layers with icon for video. You can now see the selected layers template. The timeline visually represents layers. Would you like to proceed with making the timeline interactive? No, not yet. Let's see. We're gonna take a look at this white. We're gonna see what that looks like. Okay. Okay. I think we're getting close, guys. Can we include this? So right now we got a very interesting canvas JSON template. Logo. Okay, Remotion. We got something going on over here. Not draggable, but we're getting close, guys. Let's make it all draggable. Okay. So, and we're gonna go here. We're gonna say, you can now see the select layers, view and edit template. Would you like to proceed? Yes, make timeline interactive. Make sure I can resize the window size for JSON output because I can barely see it. Okay. So right now it's just kind of going through that, guys. It keeps using GPT-4.1. We could switch to other model, guys, if we feel like it's getting hung up. But this is totally worth it for like $10 a month, guys. You could totally see the power of GitHub Copilot in one shot. Literally, you see everything is being developed in real time, guys. And of course, you probably seen that Piggy game already in the previous videos for how crazy it was. But right now it looks like it's uploading this content. While it's doing this, we could do a little bit of threads stacking. Yeah, let's do a little bit of threads stacking to see if we could get some customers. So let's go here. We're gonna go here. Maybe we should watch some Netflix while doing a little bit of thread stacking, guys. So I'm gonna put digital tired mom. Okay, and I'm gonna put 8. I'm gonna put 4 seconds this time and load that up. So okay, while it's doing this, let's see what it came back with. Your timeline is now interactive. You can add, drag and drop layers to move them or resize the start. The JSON panel on the right side is also just drag and drop the moving. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna go ahead and do this. And okay. And can I include everything? I can't. No, I don't think it told me that I could resize it, but I cannot. So let's see. Can I drag it? Can I drag the elements? No. I cannot drag the elements. Let me drag it this time. Nothing. So nothing is draggable and nothing is controllable. So let me go ahead. Your timeline is now, you can drag layers to move them or resize their start and end point. Maybe that's what it was talking about, the layers themselves. Hold on a second, guys. Those layers. Oh, okay, yes. So indeed they're resizable, but I don't know which one is which. Okay. So we don't know which one is which, but I cannot drag and drop one on top of another. JSON layer I cannot drag one layer on top of another and stack them side by side. I can only resize them. And JSON panel is also not resizing. Whatever reason. Also, can you make sure that JSON file from Reanimate is relevant to the object that is in the layer. For example, if it's image, then it needs to be associated with image. In simple words, when I click on the image, hold on, actually, let me see. When I click on the image, it needs to be reflected in JSON file. When I click on the image, then relevant JSON block needs to be highlighted when I click on it. And also I should be able to move the images and videos around, and also make sure you add corresponding title for the layers and what object is in the layer, whether it's image or video. So let's see how well it does that. I'll start by updating your app to support this. Track-based stacking and drag and drop for layers. So guys, we're doing pretty good. It's gonna begin with this. While it's beginning with this, let's take a look at thread stacking, what's going on here. So digital faceless 5 3 okay. Now let's see. While this is all happening, we're gonna be doing this thing and so if you guys want to have a setup like this, guys, all you need to do is install VS Code and get GitHub Copilot. If you're a student, you could get it for free, or a teacher. And if you're not, you could get it for $10 a month. So your editor now supports dragging layers up and down, stack them, and dragging left and right. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do this, and let's kind of open this up and see what's going on right away. Okay, this is better. Video, okay, that's good. I see video. So image. So where's, I think video and image. Okay. The template JSON template is all the way. It is resizable, but it's all the way on the right. So can you make sure? Yeah. So I think okay, I think what we want to do is we want to make the video resizable. When I click, both image and video are highlighted. Yeah, so let's go ahead and correct that. Both image and video are highlighted and not, and doesn't look like I can drag and drop them on separate tracks. Also, JSON window can be resizable. but it's all the way on the right and doesn't have enough clearance on the left. On the left, can you make sure that the JSON window is perfectly positioned and only become available after pressing a button like curly bracket button. Also make sure that video can be set. Video template can be set for different formats like YouTube short, and 16:9, etc. So let's recreate that Create template style, guys. So right now we're just kind of working hard on the UI. We're working on drag and drop functionality. We're just trying to get this thing going to the level of being a minimum viable product, guys. And as soon as we finish with that, we're gonna need to link this to we need to actually link this together with FFmpeg. So after everything is aligned with Reanimate in a way that we're supposed to have, that's when we want to make sure that it goes ahead and renders everything in FFmpeg. To do this, we need to work a little bit more on the UI, guys. So the UI is a little clunky, and we're just trying to get it properly. So your app now includes the following: the selected layers highlighted sidebar. You can drag layers up and down to different tracks and left and right. The JSON panel is hidden by default and can be toggled with in the top left preview. It appears as an overlay. Okay, so I think we are doing pretty good, guys. And what we're going further, we're gonna open up the browser and we're gonna see, okay, and it looks like this is good. Heck of a lot easier than spending $40 per month, right? Why not just recreate the whole thing? And there we go, template JSON. Okay, guys, we're getting relatively close. And yeah, so now we're gonna do HD 16 YouTube short, and let's do 16:9. Notice how it adjusts it. It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to add. So when I click on it, what's going on here, guys? Something is strange going on. So this is video. I only see, let's introduce track numbers and videos, images. So video, images, video, image. So let's be more precise. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna kind of open up this thing over here, guys, and we're gonna kind of look at this and we're gonna say on the left top corner we have image button. When you press it, be sure that actually, you know what? Let's take a look at see what exactly is gonna happen when we looks like somebody responded on to some of our likes. We probably will need to engage another AI bot to go ahead and start communicating back and forth. But let's just kind of take a look. So as soon as you hit audio, a couple of things happen. So we're gonna recreate the function. When you press it, be sure that audio. So when you press image, be sure that the image gets highlighted with a red button, a red color. Then the track itself on timeline gets highlighted. Be sure to add the following controls with track 2, track 1. Similarly, track 2. Then, okay, let's take a look. So we got track 2. We got some animation, and we'll probably add as well animation, guys, as well, to make it spice it up even more. Let's track 1, track 2. Instead of having a plus button, I don't know what this plus button does. Let's take a look. We do audio, put a lock, put 3 icon in there. Okay. We're gonna put it like this. Let's do this. We're gonna say, be sure that I can also drag an actual needle to the correct time position. Add the ruler on top of image and video. In your case, just treat audio as if it's image. If it's image. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say down the image and video. I'm just gonna say also, can you update JSON file to include audio, and JSON file and the UI to include audio. So this way we have 3 objects in the canvas: audio, image, and video. So if I was to move the red needle on the timeline, it would fast forward the video. To the proper position, and the time and the seconds on the ruler gets shown as well. Okay. Be sure there's a rewind button. Be sure to have rewind button and play button as well. So I'm including images. I'm including several images to show exactly what I'm showing. In Canvas, we create that. Also, keep in mind that when you hover, when you click on audio or video, let's see what is going on. I think I heard something. Let's see. I heard a click. Okay, also keep in mind when you click on audio or video, or other object, depending on what you click on, it gets updated. It gets highlighted in corresponding JSON. Also make sure you have unique IDs for each object as well, because we will be using APIs to call them later on, later on. Okay, so like this, and let's put that in. We're gonna go into VS Code, boom, like this, and we're gonna put like this. Da-da-da-da-da. And we're gonna include like this. Variations, and we're gonna include like this. Let me just move this thing around like this. We're gonna do this and boom. Okay. And I think here's an example of a video. Here's an example of a video. There we go. So guys, this is what's happening. We have 5 references, and let's go ahead and log in. While this is happening, we're gonna log in into GitHub Copilot. Ron Wells, your Copilot. Install Copilot in your editor. Billing and licensing. Okay. Usage. So I am using it quite heavily, but so far it's like really minimum. There gotta be like, that's the part I still need to figure out how come I'm not paying anything, but I believe it's because I'm on a student edition. So, but if not, it's like only $10, $10 per month, guys. So let's go back to where we were, and it says the following. It's gonna do this. It's gonna do the sidebar, add images, video, audio button, clicking on highlights, track labels clearly, and all that other stuff. Timeline needs edit, draggable, and play. Okay, and it's working. Update JSON file. While this is working, guys, we're gonna do a little bit of threads stacking to see if we could get some customers for us. We need some customers. We are very hungry for customers, guys. Yeah, tired. Let's see, struggling in sales. And then 5, and we're gonna put 3. Let's see. Okay, well, this was probably I should be using another word. Let's see, because most of those are not the customers. Well, over 40. You could, so you have to make sure you pick the right moms. Also, when you see somebody trying to sell, most likely it's not going to be the customers over 40. That's it, 5, 4, and then let's do 7. Okay. Sorry, your request ID. Try again. So we're gonna try that again. Sometimes it does that, guys. It times out. That's when you can call Claude for help, for rescue. So it uses this, guys. It uses working one reference. Let's do a little bit thing. Let's take a look and do AI faceless marketing. Do 2, 3, like this. So it looks like it's generating edits, guys. We're getting relatively close. And I think we almost done doing it, guys. Storytelling 4, 5, 3. Looks like it updated. Sidebar button with the red highlight, draggable red and play. Okay. Cool. Now, while we do this, we can go here and we're gonna open it up this way. Okay. That is better. Better. Better, better, better. Then what is going on? Okay, so it's okay, so I could swap, I could add images. Can I add images? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I can't seem to drag them into the same spot. Let's see where images. Images are not there at all. Let's see. Oh no, images are there. Just needed to get out of it. Track 3, track 2, track 1. So I could not move them on top of one another. So we're gonna have to correct that. And cool. So we got this. So this is what it is. Okay, so video is highlighted, audio is highlighted. That's good. Image. So we're gonna take this. When you click on image, okay, so a couple of things, guys. How about the red thing? Yes, so red thing is definitely there, but you have to hold it all the way here. And it's not really, yeah, like you can't really do anything with the needle. You can't really, oh no, you could drag it like this, but it's a little buggy. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to close this thing out. We're gonna open it again. Okay, so we're just gonna say it like this. We're gonna say it like this. When you click, when you click on the curly braces, it opens up JSON, but window. But when you click on image, it highlight, doesn't highlight highlight in JSON, in JSON, in temp in template JSON window, the actual text itself or image. Neither does it do the text block for that image. Neither does it do that for video or audio. Please make sure that this is addressed. Also, I need to be able to stack. Also, I need to be able to stack one image one block on this stack objects in the same track in the same track. If I drag them, if I drag them from one track to another, I want to be able to see them, be able to see them in the same track. Also, be sure you have a longer ID. Okay. Also be sure you have, no, actually, I think that ID is gonna be good. Okay. And I think we're relatively good, guys. We're relatively good. Okay. So let's see how that works. And of course, guys, while we're doing this, we're doing thread stacking. We need to probably evolve our thread stacking a little bit more. I'll update the code to okay. So let's do digital marketing more for beginners. Let's do number of posts for 3. Let's do that. Okay. So it keeps going, guys. It keeps applying. It keeps applying. So we need to use some other names where it's not digital marketing. Probably I should use other names, guys, because it's also mostly people selling things. So we need to come up with some other keywords real quick. Okay, this is the potential customer who had just responded, guys. Okay, it is a potential customer, which is good. So we're not gonna load that. Now you're okay. Parse JSON the selected layer block. Okay. So we're gonna go quickly. We're gonna open that up. We're getting relatively good. Select layer like this. Okay. And the template JSON is still not showing the actual. Let's see if you're gonna do it like this. Okay. Okay, let's see. No, it didn't do it, but did it do the other part? Let's see. No, I cannot drag it no matter what. If I double click on thing, nope. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna say no, it didn't work. I still. So here's when you select an image, video, or audio, in the UI corresponding block and template window will be highlighted. The text area will scroll to the relevant block. Okay. Neither that didn't work. Just gonna say that didn't work. Let me know if you want though. Thanks for filming. The issue is native text area. To solve this, I'll use the code viewer like React. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and okay, so we installed that. Now, what do we need to do? Let's go ahead and try to. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We almost created the UI. The next part is just creating sending this into FFmpeg library that's gonna combine everything together. And of course, guys, to run this locally, we would need to Dockerize all of this into Docker. So this way you have available when you turn it on, it's going to be possible for you to just run directly in a browser. Okay. There we go. Let's apply edits. I think it's almost done. And we keep going, we keep going. The errors is due to incorrect usage of Prism API. Will fix this by using correct default export. Okay, so this is the agent functionality of it. Doing it, guys, and I'm not even using Claude. Imagine if I was using Claude. So it looks like it's updating, highlighted JSON. Okay. Okay, so it's tripping on its own thing multiple times, guys. So instead of you like typing this in, it just does it. Sometimes it may go through multiple iterations before it finally gets it, guys. Okay. Supposedly it could do it can run the stacked objects. Let's see. Let's see if it's the case. Okay. Now let's see. Can I actually stack them? Nope, I cannot. And I can, okay. Nope. Doesn't work. Let's do that. So I'm just gonna get back and I'm gonna say, I still can't stack. I still can't stack. And highlighting. And when I click on the image, relevant block for JSON still doesn't get highlighted. So let's see. For stacking, the timeline already allows multiple objects to be placed on the same track, even if they overlap in time. If you want to visually see the overlapping blocks, not just by, or want to drag the grade, let me know and I can further refine the stacking logic and visuals. Okay. Open. Okay, still doesn't do it. And stacking. Nope. On the same, so we're gonna come back and we're gonna say, please try selecting different objects and stacking them on the same track. Let me go to Creatomate and see how it's done on Creatomate. We're gonna go to Creatomate, guys, and we're gonna see how it's done on Creatomate. We're gonna go here and we're gonna go templates. Okay, if you delete. Yeah. So we're gonna say, yes, even if you drag it on top of one another, should be possible to do with overlapping visuals. And yes, I want to drag it and drop to create overlaps. So let's go back to create image like this. Like this. To mid-trend. Покушать точка есть. Что? Okay, guys, I quickly updated it. I just continue in the same style, but providing the output and view. And this is, let's see. Oh, yeah, I could do it now. Yeah. So the secret is, guys, if you get stuck, literally take a screenshot of whatever it is that you're trying to show and show it like this and like this, like this. The only thing that I noticed is that it doesn't make it. Let's see, can I? Oh, never mind. And you could still do that, yeah. The only thing is, oh, okay. You could also edit on other tracks. That's cool. And like this, and let's see, like this. So template, so we're just gonna have to fix that other part, guys, and give it some more screenshots, but I think we're doing good. Hopefully we're gonna continue in the next workshop, guys, but if you wanna get access to more workshops like this, where you could ask questions, where you could literally engineer the entire app over here together with us, then jump into our workshops. All you gotta do is DM the word path on my workshops. You just go to bio.link and essentially go to my Instagram over here, click on that icon and DM the word workshop. Or you could just click on Fluidum Fusion Flip and simply save the spot over here. Click save spot. I want to reserve spot. Put the name, register, and next time when we do the free workshop, you could ask any kind of questions. Anyway, that's it for now, guys, and I'll see you next time.